So when you think game of the year, you think good game that everyone likes. Good playtime, good amount of hours, well spent while playing games. But when I look at game of the year this year, I really scratched my head and wonder. There's definitely so many games beyond belief that have a potential to be game of the year. But if you read the title of this video, you know exactly where this is going. I think that Kirby Air Riders should be a good contender for Game of the Year. This game gave me everything that I was looking for. A fun experience, a game that you can just play over and over and over again without getting bored or tired of that game. And the gameplay loop in this game really sucks you up. It makes you feel like you have to do this to unlock this, and this. It really is an amazing game, and I think that Game of the Year suits it well. But of course, there's a bunch of different games that came out this year. Expedition 33, Hollow Knight Silksong, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and oh my goodness, we can't forget about Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and most of the Nintendo games. But all those things aside, pretty much everyone can have their own game of the year. It's pretty much just the game that you played the most. And for me, my game of the year is Kirby Air Riders. This game really sucked me up. Like, I really enjoyed this game. This game only came out about a week ago, and I'm having an absolute blast playing through the games. There's a metric that allows you to see how many collectibles or how many things you've done in the game called gummies, and my goodness, I like gummies. I have currently about 120 gummies. I've been mostly playing through the story mode, and I honestly think it's just a fun time. You get to replay the story mode with different tactics, different strategies every single time. So if you wanted to make a build, like my first build ever was a glide build. So what I would do is I would get max glide on the jet star. Now I know it's probably not the greatest star for that, but it does allow you to skip a bunch of different levels. If you wanted to just zoom through up a ramp and then just keep flying straight, you can go straight over some levels, which honestly is really cool. I had max glide, I had pretty much max HP, and I think I had almost max boost, but that was pretty much my first thing. The second time you do the story mode, however, things start to be a little bit different. It is the same story mode, but kind of with a different story, with a different spin on it, and it is really good. Like, honestly, it is really good. The second build that I did was max offense and also max weight and speed. My goodness, I went flying across the map. Overall, my point is, this game is just really good, and if you have a Nintendo Switch 2, but you're like, I already got Mario Kart World, it's a kart racing game, I don't think I want to buy it again. It's okay if you don't want to get it, but I would say you should probably pick it up. It's much different than a kart racing game. It really is like a hack and slash, a game that you can shoot things, also a game that you can freely explore, open world, Forza Horizon style of game. Overall, it just is a masterpiece, I would say, and is worth it for game of the year, or my game of the year anyways, because if it goes up there on the big stage, I don't think it's necessarily going to stand a chance with the major audience that haven't played a Nintendo game before or are stuck in different platforms, which is okay. Expedition 33 was definitely a massive heavy hitter. And we can't forget about Hollow Knight Silksong, another fantastic banger. But hey, Nintendo games are inside of Game of the Year. But Kirby Air Riders is not, because that game came out too late this year. If it would have came out early in the year, maybe it would have had a shot. But sadly, it's never going to really hold the true Game of the Year. Maybe for Game of the Year Part 2 or Wave 2, we can see more games of the year. Maybe it could be Kirby Air Riders. But at this point, I think that this is my Game of the Year. I think that this is the only game that I really sat down, played, and enjoyed. Tried different goofy mechanics, tried different goofy builds, and honestly, I am having a blast throughout my whole journey. And Every single boss fight feels like a new boss fight in a way. Now, some of them are super weird and gimmicky, and others is just like, my goodness, what the heck am I doing here? But others is just like, my goodness, this boss fight is so fun. Yeah, overall, all these things aside, really make for an enjoyable experience. And for what I want to say, game of the year. And my goodness, if you play through the story, now I don't want to spoil too much of the story on this game, because hey, it's like a brand new game. You might not have played it, but if you play through the story, you go through the first wave, which is the story mode, and you do a whole bunch of things like different quests and stuff, and then you get to the end. It's a really good thing. Like, honestly, it's really fun. Then you keep doing that. You do a new game plus sort of thing, so you can pretty much take your same save file and just redo it over and over again. So then you can just keep all the money that you've obtained. You can keep all the carts that you obtained, so you can pick from that new game plus. Do I want to start off with the Jet Star and then make my way over? And you can start off with the perfect build that you want to pretty much do the entire story mode. But there is a part 2 to this. The part 2, once you do the new game plus, it's a little bit different than if you were to just restart the game. Don't want to go too much into that, but overall, it's a lot of fun. The city trials is also really fun, playing online with a bunch of different people. Also, the race mode is also really fun. You can start to see where it really shines. And the ranking system. There's no other games that does a ranking system sort of like this one, or I would say kart racing game that has a ranking system like this one. You pretty much just update a star or a square or a shape or something that is really interesting while you do upgrade it. It seems like the colors go from red all the way to purple, which is cool because then you can say, hey, look, I'm this global rating. And speaking of global rating, there's a global rating system where you can see, okay, I have more points, I have the most points. I feel like it should have been actually like a global rating system where you would go downwards instead of upwards, but I feel like it makes sense that you get more and more points. It's easier to code in, it's easier to make all of those things. So overall, it's really cool. And we can't forget about top ride. That's the one. Top ride is fun. Like, honestly, I didn't think I would enjoy top ride, but it's fun. Now, I didn't play top ride online, but played it through the story mode, and I have a fun time every single time. If I'm doing a certain build, well, then I won't pick top ride, but if I'm not, I will pick top ride, and I'll have an absolute blast with that. Overall, this game is Game of the Year worthy material. Now, I don't know if you would consider it Game of the Year, maybe just Nintendo Game of the Year, because there's so many. But I guess there's also a lot of different Nintendo games that came out this year. Okay, so if I were to throw this up here, which one would be Game of the Year? Would it be Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, whatever, or Mario Galaxy 1+2? I don't know if that counts as Game of the Year. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Metroid Prime 4, if you're watching this after, what date is it? December 29th? Anyways, let me know with all of these things in the comments section down below. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you are new, because hey, I do a bunch of different Nintendo content. Pretty much every day is going to be a different subject. If you're interested in something like that, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you're gonna have a blast. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Yep, I'll see you in the next one.